Well, my friends, I'm back because once I got the shawl up and I got such sweet messages and I just wanted to try to get it up as quick as I could so that you would have time, if you needed a nice, quick, and easy gift, that you had it right there. The 2 rows of pretty lace. And then I remembered I was going to show you how I made the charm. And it's just, first of all, I'm not an official bead person. I don't know some of the names of some of this equipment, but like everyone else, when I go out to Joann's or Michael's and anything, they have 40, 50, 60, 70% off. I'm buying it. And I'll figure out what to do with it later. So this is just some of my stash of beads and things. And I thought I'd come on and just show you how to do that little quick. This is the one right here that I had on my shawl. Now I'm going to lay it here. I don't know if it's on camera. Let's see, can I pull it up? There it is. This is the one that I had. Let's see, I didn't think ahead of time. Jay, you didn't think ahead of time to get something to back it so you could see it, but maybe if I hold it. But this was just beads that I had. I didn't have to buy any beads. And I thought, well, a Mother's Day gift is special. Or like you like me, your mother's gone, but you like to give something special to someone on this day. This time of the year. It's just once a year seems, that we should do it more often. So I wanted to show you how to make something as simple as just a charm that I put onto my shawls. And if you want to know more about beads, just Google, bead charms or charm dangles, or there's just all kind of professional sites that can really tell you all the things you need. So here we go. That's the one I just made. These are some of the ones that I've made before that I've used on other projects. And they're just simply beads that I buy. Like I said, when they have them on sale. Jay only buys stuff on sale. At least I can say that. Let me pull in just a little bit, maybe. I really do buy things if I can get a good price. Like I said, because a lot of it I don't even ever remember to use. That's pretty. Has a little owl face. So, now, all right. So here's the end product right here. So now let me tell you what you need to have to start. Look at that one with the little. I had that on something. I remember we made something. One of my tutorials. I think it was a shawl or something too. And I had just gotten these beautiful little angel wings. And then that pretty bead. And I couldn't wait to make something. So these are the end products. Now, let's talk about how to get started. So I'll just lay these over to the side. Like I say, you're not getting into bead selling and just like me. You just want a little something, to give it a try. First of all, you need a little theme. You need something as the main theme of our little piece that you're going to make. On the one I just made for Mother's Day, I had this pretty little cross. And I thought, well, that's just real pretty. It's just very simple, but it's a pretty little cross. And so all I had to do, once I then find some pretty beads that would accentuate the cross. See, that's all it is. And I don't put a lot. Now, once you go to the actual bead sites, they make them, they're very involved. They have beads everywhere. But remember, we use our things on knit or crochet items. So I don't want this real heavy with a lot of beads. I just have a main thing, which is this pretty cross, and then a few little extra beads just to enhance it. And then my lobster clasp. So I don't want to put a lot of heavy things on our knits and crochet. So, so you just have to watch and then glean from it or use what you can when you go to the sites. like I said, the first thing you want to do is have a theme. So some of my charms that I had this beautiful angel. Look at her. Look at that. That would be a really pretty. Now, if your mom or someone, you know, had some earrings, I don't mean some really expensive stuff, some costume jewelry. And maybe you might like to make you and your sister or your brother or someone, you might like to use the jewelry to make something. And this is a good way to take a couple of pair of earrings. Let's see, well, I didn't plan this out good at all, did I? Couple of pair of earrings, and make not just one, but make more than one to share it with, here we go, here's a little card, that you can share it with a sister or cousin or someone that, see? So that's a good way. Now here's another one. Maybe, like I said, it was a pair of earrings. You know, costume jewelry. Maybe your mother was she was a great dresser. She just dressed from head to toe. And she loved pretty, stylish earrings or pendants or necklaces or something. And this is a good way to recycle and use, but also to remember, of course, she may be a very big part of the church. Look at that pretty cross there. Now this is getting a little heavy, so I have to be careful when you get to crosses, because sometimes they can be very heavy. Here's a pretty charm that I thought that I couldn't find when I was looking. And it has words on it. Sometimes you can find some with pretty words. This says believe. And there's some little matching small thing. Some small that says hope and dreams. So that's pretty. Here's a bee. Maybe she had a pen. Maybe she had a pen with bees or butterflies. What I'm trying to do, what you want is just a theme to get it started, and then we'll add the rest. Of course, here's some flowers. I can't hardly pick that up, but then here's some I hadn't even taken off. Here's the, you can find these at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby. These are just beautiful wings, angel wings. And this is how they come when you buy the charm. I had 4, so I've used 2. And then, of course, you can always get an initial like this. Oh, there's J. Okay, so we have a theme. Next thing you will need is some chain. Now, you can get chain in the packages. I just get it when I have, like I said, coupon. That's the time I buy stuff. I'll buy a pack of silver and I'll buy some gold. Or you can have it rolled off. You know, you can buy it by the yard, I think, some places. I think Michael's, I think all of them, where you can pull it off and just buy. So you wouldn't need but a half a yard or, you know, something like that. But this was just convenient because it's in a pack and I can keep it in the pack. And I just always try to get silver and gold because I never know which one I might need or use. You will need some jump rings, either silver and gold, of course. Some lobster clasps. These little clasps, you know what they are. I don't know if you can see it in my hand, but yeah, silver and gold. And you're going to need some pin heads, silver and gold. These are the little pins that have a little head on them to keep the beads. Once you put them on there, you probably can't see it in my hand, but you know what they are. I'll lay it light right there. You can see what a pin head. They come in all gold, silver, you know, whichever ones you're going to be making. So just real inexpensive little items. You don't need a ton of all of it. One little pack will last you forever. Unless you're going to get into jewelry and beading. I'm not. This is just for accent. All right. So I have that. So let's get started real quick. There's nothing to do. I got a theme. So let's start over here with the gold. I'll start right here. You need to cut your chain. Now you will need a few little tools. One day when I was getting into this, you know, a few years back, by the time I got on YouTube or whatever, I was at Michael's and I had a coupon and I got this little set. Now let me see, can I back out just so you can see? So I got this little set with all these little things. I don't know the proper name. I know that's a wire cutter. So I know you need that. And here's some, I don't know, round nose, anyway, whatever. Just don't try to use your fingernails or your teeth. Okay? This is all, and with the coupon, I think I paid maybe $3 for the whole set, because it was like a 40% coupon or something. And they weren't very expensive. And they were just a little set that came when I was at Michael's. And I thought, well, one day I might use those. I couldn't find anything else to use my coupon on, so I bought these, and thank goodness I did. So, I've already cut my chain. You just need about 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches, depending on how long you want the drop to be, how long you want the dangle. So, I've got my chains, and I've already cut them with my cutters. Next thing is, we're going to take our theme, the one that we're working on, this one. This is our main theme, right here for me on this one. Now, let's see if I need to come in. Yeah, I might just... Alright, let me reset my camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I've moved everything over so that we can put one of our little charms together on our chain. And I cut a little of this chain off because I thought this one was going to be a little big. Like I said, you don't need maybe 3 or 4 inches. Maybe 5 might be too much. 3 or 4, say 4 inches. We'll just go ahead and say 4 inches. All right. So I've taken a jump ring, and I have put the jump ring and the main charm on one end of my chain. Just that simple. And like I said, because we're using ours on our knitted and crochet, shawls and things, we really have to be careful. We won't be adding as much, all the beads that they do on the beaded sites. But now on this end, I have found some beads. I went through my little stash and I picked out some beads that I thought would go with the color with that. And I simply want to take one of my head pins, and I start small. I just start small, and I start putting on some beads on my pin, just to kind of, so I start with a small gold one, just like that. Then I may just go up to the next size. All we're doing is adding, just something to embellish the other end of the chain. There's a nice crystal bead right there. Then I looked for something, and I saw this that had some bling. I thought, oh my gosh, that's pretty. I may even add maybe another gold in between. Let's see if I can add another gold. See if it needs it. A lot of this is just trial and error. Just having fun. There's a gold, a crystal, and a gold. Now I'm going to put this bling one. Let's see if I have enough room. I may not have enough room to put my large one if I have that extra gold. Because I do have, so I'm going to have to take the extra gold one out. See, it didn't work. But I do want this bling one. So it's just the ones you want. There's a little gnat flying around. I'm sitting in front of the window to get some air. So that's pretty. Here's my original. Here's my little original charm. Now I want to end it with something really that's going to stand out. Or just, so I'm going to put this large bead. If I can get the little pin up through there. Oh, it's not enough. Okay, you see how this head pin was not long enough. So either I have to change beads or go to one that is longer and just cut one off. So I'm going to cut this one a little bit. Now this is just a longer one. You can find some long ones if you look around at some stores. Not all of them have long ones. But now I'm just going to put them back on just like I had them. I love this little bling one with all the little jewels. Man, oh, there's a hole right there. See? This is all matching. Or, that the colors look really nice. There we go. Now look. There's my first charm. And now here's what I'm adding. So I can accent the opposite end. Now, I need to make something so that I can attach this to the opposite end of the chain. So I'm simply going to bend this wire. I'm just going to bend it with my hand. It's a little long, so I might cut a little bit off. A little bit more. Hold it so it won't. Make sure you got some kind of eye protection. Now I can take these little pliers with the little skinny nose and rotate it back. Now I'm not as good as the bead people, but I'm learning. You rotate it so that you'll have a nice little hook. And my hook is not anywhere as pretty as theirs, but we'll go with it. But don't close it all the way, because I need to put this end of the chain on the hook. And then I'll kind of clean that up. So you just put it on here. Now you see how tedious this work is. This is why I don't understand when I look at people's videos or something, and I'm just amazed at the patience and the time they take to make these videos, myself included. And then you have people who give the people thumbs down. Why? They haven't done a thing. They hadn't done anything to you or against you, or they're just doing their little craft to the best of their ability. Some have more ability than others, like on this. Some, like I don't have the ability of the people who really do. So, but I am going to make, and then I will make sure that's closed up. Just take your little, and this is really tedious work. Okay, mine is not as pretty, but it's on there. As long as it doesn't come off, I'm happy. So now I have some beautiful beads on one end, and I'll have to learn how to do that little hook a little better. Also, I have a pretty charm on this end. Now I want them to hang, but I don't want them to be equal. I want them to hang more like that. One, this is lower, this is to the bottom end, and this is the side that's higher. So now I do have to add a jump ring. I get my little, one thing that I notice, make sure that your jump rings will be able to fit through the chain. If you got a really small chain, I had to redo this part because my jump rings were too large for my chain. So as I hold it up to see about where I want it to kind of fall, then I can add this jump ring to my chain. It needs to go through, and then before I close it up, I'm going to hold it up, let it hang, and see if it's in the place that I need it to hang. Now this was a little large jump ring, but I couldn't find, I see one that's a little smaller. Let's see, can I get this one? Let's see if this one's a little smaller. I tried to find some that were in my stash. Here's one that's a little smaller. So let's see, can I switch and put this one in instead? Oh, that's much better. Okay, so I changed the jump ring. So you do have to have different sizes. So when you do buy your packs of jump rings, just look in there and see if you have, a couple of different sizes. So they're not just all large ones or all real little ones. Then I rotate it back, twist it back, and now, oops, sorry, I didn't put my lobster clasp on. Open it back up. Now I'm going to add a cute little lobster clasp like that. Now I can twist the jump ring back, line it up. Take care to really line it up. And now, just that quick, let me move some of all this stuff out of the way. You see beads can roll. Look how quick that bead wanted to roll. So here is our first simple little charm that would look really pretty on a little, some type of neck warmer or a shawl or even one of our sweaters. And it's lightweight because we didn't add a lot of beads like the bead people. We want to keep ours nice and clean lines, and just a little charm. All right, there's one. There's the first one. Maybe I'll get better as I go across. Oh, like I said, it's very time-consuming work, and I really appreciate. Now, I had this one. I was going to add it to something. Now, I could add one more. I could add something else. This is light. I could come here and add something else if I wanted to on a little jump ring. You see this little extra? I was just playing around with some beads off camera, and I made an extra one. Let's open that. Let me open that. Let me open this back up and just put it on here since I already have it. Let's see if it'll be too much. Open the jump ring. Put this one on. Oh, that's kind of cute. That's not real heavy. We just have to be mindful of the weight. And then close that loop up. My little loops aren't closed as good as the bead people, so I will have to work on that loop. But this is just a little extra. Oh, look at that. Those were just something I just had laying over there, and I thought, well, look at that. So there's the main charm. Here's the bead, and then I had a little small group of beads that I added. Can you see that? It moved all this stuff out of the way. I think that looks really pretty. Look at that. Just by adding a few extra beads. Okay, so that's one. One down. All right, let's try. I'm working hard for my supper tonight, ain't I? Look, and this was my idea to come over here and do this. I have no idea what was I thinking. Okay, so here we go. Here's a pretty charm. And here's my chain. This is silver. So I'm going to use, this one is a little heavy, so I'm going to use a little, maybe one that's a little heavier to make sure I hold this charm. That's a little big though. Let's see. Let me find it. You just have to look around and see what you have. Like I said, find pack. Oh, this is the right size right here. Here's one. See, a pack. All right, I need to put the charm. Now this is a different kind of charm. I don't know if this one will work. This has a side. This is a... Oh, this one, I don't know. Well, let's not give up yet. Open it up. Okay. Let's see if it's going to hang right. Now I'm going to put this through 2 chains just to make sure that it holds. And then I'm going to close it back by twisting it back the opposite direction. And I think it needs to, I need to push it a little closer. There you go. And I will try to get that a little closer. Here, how about like this one on, let me take this. There we go. All right, so there's the charm. All right, let's move all this stuff. There's the charm. Okay. It's not perfect, but I'll have to practice on this one. Now, if you want to add some extra charms just hanging off the side, I'm going to take this little, here's a small, let's see if this is the smallest one. No, there's one smaller. Here's a small one. I'm going to take this extra small jump ring, open it up, take this little small charm here, add it on just somewhere near that one, so that, because they have words on them, and it needs to, you need to be able to, some kind of way I'm not getting my, there we go. Okay, so now there's 2. Look at that dream. All right, I had another one. Where's the other one? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to find another small jump ring. This is good to have them in different sizes. So here's a small one again. I'm going to open this one up. And I'm going to put this one on here. And I'm going to add this one up a couple of chains on this side. So we're just making it up as we go. Oh, that's pretty. because the words are so pretty. And voila. So now I have 3 beautiful charms with beautiful words of encouragement. Believe, dream, hope. Look at that. Now, that was the main charms on this side. Now the bead part. Let's turn it around and see if I was on camera. Okay, I think I was. I hope I was. Let's push all these things up here out of the way. Pull this down. Alright, so now I want to add some beads to this end. Oh, Jay, this bead and stuff, this stuff is really messy, isn't it? Alright, so I need a head pin. And we're working in silver. I want to start small, so I have this little silver. This is when you just have little small beads. There's a pretty silver one. And then here's a crystal. These pins aren't that long, so I can't add a whole lot. There's a crystal one. Now watch this. Here's a little, these are these connecting things. I don't know the proper name, but look at that. It goes like that. Now I can just put this large bead right on top of that cup. Look at that. I'll have to bring this one close just so you can see it. I just had that in my stash, that little connecting thing. I don't know the terminology. Alright, so now I got to make another hook. Oh, God, help me. So I know you bend it down, and then you take these little pliers. They make it look so easy, these, with the long nose, and then you're supposed to rotate it back, curl it. Okay, now before I close that curl, before I close it any further, I need to, I see something is on this one that didn't get cut off. Hold on. There we go. Now, I can take this, put it in there. Now I continue to twist it on around to close the circle up. You have to hold it. You really have to use your hand. You really have to be coordinated to hold all these beads in place while you're doing this. Okay, well, I ain't good at that part, so I'll have to come back to that. But at least I got it on. Now look. Oh my gosh. Isn't that pretty? See? I'm telling you. I would never give a thumbs down to a bead person. Look at that. So there's the main. Here's the accent. Or I could change it and put this up. Just one needs to be higher than the other, so when they hang. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'll put the bead. For some reason, it looks pretty with the bead on the bottom. Like this, I think. Like have this up higher, and then the bead at the bottom. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So now I know that my jump ring needs to go about right in there. So I need a nice sized jump ring to hold that lobster clasp. So I'm going to put a big one. Make sure they're not too, I think that's it. Yeah, I think this size will be okay. Okay, so I'm going to grab it and open it by twisting either away from you or towards you. Alright, lay it down, look at it. I want one side longer, so I think I'd rather have the bead hanging down, so that means I'm going to put the jump ring right here in this chain, about right. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, help me. Let me hang it again, because you don't want it. I don't want them to be equal. I want one. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to put it right here. Voila, got it. And then don't forget a nice heavy-duty clasp, depending on the weight. Now this is almost getting too heavy for our knitting, so I got to be real careful. So I got real excited, and I started adding a bunch of stuff, but you know, I don't want it to pull my knitting shawl, or my sweater. And look at that one. I can't believe I'm getting this done on camera. It's a lot of work. Okay, what do you think of that one? Come on, people, come on. Oh, all praise to the bead people who do this and who can do it with such finesse and just make it look so easy. I looked and looked and I was so excited. I thought I could do that. I can do it for these three and that's it. Okay, so we're up to 2, so let's go one more. We're just having fun, people. I just wanted to come on. I enjoy your company. It's night, it's quiet. Everything is quiet. So I thought I'd sit here and just entertain you. Okay, so I need a small, this one didn't fit. You got to make sure not to get really thick jump rings. Some of the jump rings I got were too large for my wire, for my chain. I'm sorry, for my chain. Here's one here, so let me just open this one and stick this one in. It's a little smaller right there. Twist that back. Okay. And then if I have to, right now I can just make sure that I got it closed. Oh, you know what? I think I can get this one on that bottom one. Let me open that one back up. I think I can get this little small one into that chain. So, yes, you have to learn a few little things as you go, like make sure that your jump ring and your chains are compatible. Otherwise, you can't get them in there. So, luckily I had some different sizes. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to close this back up. Just like that. And that seems to be a big gap, so I'm going to take these and this pair of pliers, or whatever you call it, and close it up. Because you don't want your beads to fall out. There we go. Woo. Alright, so now there's where, if I had an old earring, remember I said, like, maybe if you had an old earring and you can split the earrings, and each one of you could make a nice charm. So there is the main charm for that one, right there. How does that look? Let's see if it's on. Okay, it's on there. Alright, so now, on this side, I'm taking one of my pins again. Let's see if it's too short. I think it was too short. So I'm going to have to cut one of these again. Alright, so I'm starting with, okay, I'm going to start with a small gold one. Bloop, I put it on there. Okay, now I go up in size. I just keep going up in size. Here's the next, a pretty crystal. Isn't that pretty? Look, here's the original. Okay, now if there's something, here's a little gold something. Let's see if I can put that right there. Oh, look, I put that right there. Now I can add this one. It's the next size up. Oh, I like that. Now we can add the big one. Let's see if this is pretty enough, because I had some other ones. Oh, don't that look really like an antique? Don't that look really pretty? Alright, so here we go again with this, learning how to do this curl thing on top. I can cut a little of that off, fold it down, take these with the long snout, long nose. She said put it at the end and rotate it. But before I turn it all the way, I got to put my little chain in here on this end. Then continue to rotate it. Just like that until you can close it up. This will take practice, this part. I'm not good at that yet, I see that. I don't have a pretty circle like she did, like a pretty closure. But I'll mash it together to make sure I don't have something that's going to scratch me. So I'll rotate that. Okay, and we'll close that up. Just take your pliers if you have to. All right, now here's my main charm, say an old earring or something, and you can make two, one for you, one for your sister or someone else. And now you want to make them offset. One is longer, or both of these are about, both of these have a drop on the end. Let's pull that out. Let's see how we like it before we put which way do you think? Like that? Let's see, like that. And the bead at the bottom, because the bead is heavier. And you'll have to straighten out your little, but the bead is a little heavier than the earring turned out to be. So how about that? So I see about where I want the jump ring, about right there. Here it is. I open it up. It's a nice size one because there's a lot of weight on here. I find the chain, hold it up before I close it up to see how it looks. Oh, this is a long one, pretty one. Look at that. I hope it's in camera. Oh, look at that. It was kind of out of camera, but maybe you can see it. Okay. But look at that one. All right. Now, I can always go back and cut some of this chain off if I see that, well, that's a little large. Or, I was thinking, how about if but then that makes the two. I was just thinking about if I brought it up a little more, just put some extra. Man, I don't know about that. I think this chain was just too long. Let's look at it again. There's the main. There's the. I don't know. All of a sudden, for some reason, I want to pull it up and stick this through here. See, we haven't closed up anything yet, and we're just designing. We're just kind of making up our mind. I want to pull some of this chain up. Now, we can take time to cut it, but I don't want to do all that. I'm trying to get through. So I pull some up. Is that too much fang dangle in one place? What do you think? I really can't tell if I like it or not. Or should I leave? I'm going to leave it long. And then, of course, you're going to put your lobster clasp on here. And if this one was too long, we can always take it loose and then take some of the chains out of the chain. So I may have started with a chain that was a little too long. And here we go. Now let me move everything out of the way so we can see this last one. This one I wasn't quite sure of. Either I have the chain too long or back out some. Either the chain is too long or I have too large pieces for the theme. Maybe the theme was too large and too long. So I might redo this one. Okay, but this one I love. I like the look of it. I like the little words and the saying. I like that I had more than one little little message there. That was really pretty. I like that. And then the first one that we did, I like it, and I put a few extra beads on there, just for fun. There's that one. At the end of the night, you may say, Jay, I think I'll just go to Walmart. Look, I think I'll just go to Steinmart. I hear they got a great Mother's Day sale. You know what? I'll meet you over there. But I had to give it a try. I had to come back on because I made the one that where's the one that I made? Oh, this one. Here's the original one that started all of this. It was just so pretty with the cross, and I just thought it was real pretty. And that big old pretty little plum bead. That's what started it all. I thought, well, I need to show them how I made my little charms to hang on there. So either I'll meet you at Steinmark's, either give this a try, or I'll meet you at Steinmark's, or we'll meet somewhere. TJ Maxx. See what kind of Mother's Day jewelry they have on sale. Well, this is Jay, and I had fun sitting right here in the cool of the night. I didn't have anything else to do. There's nothing on television, people. It's just awful. So I just thought, well, I'll just make something up for my friends. And believe me, this was made up. So I hope you have a good evening. I hope this, like I say, if it doesn't work out, I'll meet you at Steinmart. We'll find something to buy. But until then, I hope you give this beautiful lace shawl a try, whether you put any fancy charms on it or not. We had fun. We thank the bead people for sharing. And they don't have to worry. We're not getting into beading. But it's nice to know how to do something. And so we give you thumbs up. We give you thumbs up, people, for just the patience and the time and for sharing. So this is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. So I won't see you anytime. I'll be working on, the next thing is coming is our end of the month Jay's Friendship album. And I got a lot of photos, so now listen. If you have some photos that you need to send in, anything you have knit or crocheted off of from one of my designs, just at the end of the main videos, you'll see a Gmail address. Take a couple of shots of your picture of your project. Send it to me before the end of May. So, because that's the next Jay's Friendship album coming. So I've really got to work on that. But I just wanted to have fun and come and show you my attempt. So, until then, see ya.